All right, what's happening? Hope you're doing well. Today we're at Blackwolf Run, the river course here. Pete Dye Design. It's tipping out at 7,400 yards. We're playing all the way back, so you can see the full course in all its glory with this homeboy today. Be sure to give Golfholics a check out, link in the description below. And mostly it'll be voiceovers, talking you through all strategy and things like that, because it's windy. It's gonna be a tough day out here, huh, Mike?
Sure is. It looks beautiful though. First hole, 610 yards, par 5, right in the face.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Back to Wisconsin. We're deep in the heart of America's heartland, playing Blackwolf Run, the river course, a gorgeous Pete Dye design. And we're playing it at 7,404 yards today. And we are tipping this thing out as far back as she goes. An incredibly beautiful, beautiful piece of property.
This looks good, bud.
First hole is dead into a strong 20-plus mile-an-hour wind, 610-yard par 5, and it had to be playing over 700 yards. So second shot, got a long way to go, and just trying to get it down there as far as possible. 3-wood. Keep it low, hit this as good as I can hit a 3-wood off the fairway, and just pierced right through the wind, and still left me about 165. I'm hitting a 5-iron here, just trying to play for the center of the green. Pin was all the way in the back, so really making this a tough hole. But I had a good look at birdie from about 20 feet and just missed it. So good start, I would say, on this challenging first hole. Okay, if you've ever seen the movie A River Runs Through It, this place looks just like that, but that was probably Montana. Look at this guy, fly fishing right here in the river right behind the first hole. I mean, this place is spectacular. See if you can catch something. You know, Mike and I were talking earlier. We didn't think this place was like a destination, like getaway trip. We just thought, like, hey, it was a cool place to play golf, like a round or two at Whistling Straits. But Blackwolf Run is the place to be. And Whistling, I mean, now that I've been here, it's not only a must trip, it's a must return multiple time trip, right?
Absolutely.
Golly.
You know, I thought Bandon was super special. But this place, I don't know, it's up there, if not better.
Second hole is called Burial Mounds, 377-yard par 4. We flipped it around, so we got a little downwind, but I drove it on the burial mound, and I'm just trying to get it up on the green, and just came up a little short on another burial mound, and left myself a nice 15-footer for par. What do you know?
Down from there.
Good way to start the day. Drop a
Played that
nice
hole well.
15-footer on the second hole.
Well, sort of.
Next hole is a par 4, 468 yards. Feeling good. A lot of wind though, so it was a tricky day for sure. Pushed it a bit right, kind of in this light rough, and put a 9-iron from about 150. A little downwind, helping right to left a touch. Left myself kind of a long putt for birdie, but luckily managed to get it up there fairly close, you know, and made that little tester. All right. This is a great hole, this par 3 called Swan Lake. There are swans in that lake. I'm taking a hybrid here, and man, I hit this so good, and the wind was hard off the left, and it just hit and bounced into the Swan Lake. So I took a drop here, good as I could. I think it dropped, you know, I think it went in the water around there, so that's where I took my drop. That was for bogey, and that would be a nice double bogey. So not my favorite thing to do, but I did hit a great tee shot. I just felt like I got a little unlucky. Next hole is a par 4, 427. Just trying to put it in the fairway and not go in the river. And it kind of looked like it was going to go in, but it stayed out. Just missed that bunker here. And I have about 150 with the tricky wind kind of back into us. I'm hitting an 8-iron. just trying to get on the front of the green, and it went all the way in the back, left me a good 50-footer, uphill then downhill. This was a tough one, and just kind of got it close enough to tap in my par. So got lucky on that hole, I would say. This is a 388-yard par 4. You don't need driver here, but we didn't care. We had driver anyways. We were alone. We didn't know the course. The wind was helping, but off the left, you could see it's really whipping. So my ball went through the fairway, and just down here in the rough, I have a short 102. The green is crazy because it's super skinny. So we're just trying to get it back there and hit a great shot, but it went a little far. Again, it's very difficult to control your yardage in this kind of wind. But I was trying to make that guy, to be honest with you. It was pretty easy downhill, little chip shot. Got it to about 3 feet and then just tapped it in. This hole, number 7, is one of my favorite holes out here on this course. It's called Glen Carey, and it's just gorgeous. Shoot your drive right between these trees. Absolutely beautiful. Hit this really well, just down the right center of the fairway, and it gave me about 155. I'm hitting a 9-iron. Wind is super hard off the right, so I started this actually right of the green, and it drew back, but it was a little bit short. Thought it might be a little more downwind than it was, and this was a challenging putt because you got to go up this ridge and then down, and it's just super fast. These Pete Dye greens were tricky to figure out, I'll tell you that. Nice par 5 8th hole, 532. Drops probably about 50 feet below the tee box. And the wind, again, is really hard off the right. Hit this great. And it just rolled in the left rough. So I'm just trying to lay up with the 4-iron. And it went probably 50 yards farther than I thought it would. So it left me about a 60-yard, 60-degree wedge. And I'm don't have much green to work with. It's about 15 feet above the surface of the fairway. So it went a little long. Just chipping back here. Super fast going back down the hill toward the flagstick. And gosh, I left myself, this 8-footer at least for par. But I was rolling it well, so that felt pretty good. 9 is a gorgeous hole. 361, par 4. You kind of could go either side of that big tree down the middle. There's fairways on both sides, but there's a lake down the right, so we kind of decided to go left of it. And hit this great. Beautiful drive. 73, I've got a 60-degree wedge, and keep an eye on where this ball lands. That was a perfect shot. Here's my mark right here. Hit. And then it rolled all the way up next to the hole. Then it took a right-hand turn, and it's way over there. I'm 60 feet away. I couldn't believe how far it rolled. You have to know these greens to know where to land that ball. I guess landing it where I did was not the right call, even though it looked good. So managed to squeak out a par, thankfully. Kind of got a bad break there. 10th hole, 227-yard par 3. Yes, that is a 3-wood in my hand. And I kind of pole hooked this a little bit, but there's a water pond, lake, river thing to the right, so left was the miss. And this really, in my opinion, was a pretty easy shot, and I landed it exactly where I was looking. Again, the Pete Dye greens, I had to do it over, I would play a totally different shot because it rolled off the back and over here, and I hit another perfect one, and it just rolled, and Mike felt sorry for me, so he gave me that putt. So thank you very much. 11, 621-yard par 5, and swirling winds. It's just hit and hope. Try to get it as far as you can. So got it down there, and this hole bends around really hard to the right. So I could cut that 50, 60 yards, and I would still be in the left side of the fairway. And I cut it maybe 30 yards, and I'm in this bunker from about 60 yards, and just trying to get it on the front of the green. Came up a bit short. So just trying to do the best I can here, chipping with an 8-iron from about 30 yards on this super tight lie. Hit it really good. Probably should have used a 9-iron or pitching wedge. Went a little too far. And that's just a bad misread. And a bogey. Now this is a great hole. 486 yard par 4. Hit a great drive. Striped it right down the center of the fairway. 6-iron from 190. We're playing a little back downwind. And this was tracking. I mean, it was one of my better iron shots of the day. Still a little work left for birdie, 18 feet. But man, I thought I was going to give it a... I thought I was going to make it, to be honest with you. But a par on this kind of hole, I'll take that. Now the wind started really picking up. 231 yard, 4-iron. And it's coming hard off the right. I kind of had to take my tee shot over the trees and let it work back to the green. And there's a river there too, so it's a treacherous shot. You see that wind is really whipping with this super long putt. And it was a 3-putt, but I'll tell you, standing on the tee box, bogey was going to be fine. So, although par would have been nice, I'm not too devastated with the bogey. This is a beautiful hole. 14, 346 yards. Driver, probably 3-wood would be the call. A little 65 yards, 60-degree wedge. Again, the wind just is wrecking havoc on us, but have a birdie putt.
Oh, I pushed it.
So gave it a good look, but kind of ran it by and managed a par. So now I'm happy with that. This was one of my favorite holes. Again, that flag pole in the distance is, they say, I believe, the largest flag in America. So we're just kind of aiming at that. I'm trying to play a little bleeder cut, which I got. And it left me right in the middle of the fairway, 62 yards, 60-degree wedge. And I'm just trying to put this right on the front of the green and let it roll to the back pin. Again, you probably would have played a different shot had I known this course, because that rolled all the way off the back of the green, which is crazy because of how good I hit it. Then just straight back up the hill, left it short, tap and par. This hole, a nice par 5, 620 yards on a crosswind. Hit a great drive. Bunkers on the left. Left me 3-wood. I'm trying to use the wind and kind of sling a draw as close as I can up there. Hit a really good 3-wood. And 30-yarder. And because things are rolling out, I'm taking a 60-degree wedge this time. You know, it's a super tight lie. Hit it great. And go figure, this one didn't roll out for me. So I have about a 12-foot birdie putt instead of a 1-foot birdie putt that I was hoping to have. But it's super fast. Slinging from right to left. It's a good par. Long hole.
It's not that bad.
17. Tough one. Wind is hard off the right. So I'm aiming out right, which just my tendency is to want to draw it. So I did. And the wind's blowing right to left. So I missed the green long and left. Just trying to do anything to chunk this up there and get it close. 20-footer for par. Don't like to finish with a bogey on 17 with probably the hardest hole on the course coming up. Into the wind, 510-yard par 4. It's playing 600 yards with the wind. And I blew my driveway right. So what I'm going to do now is just say, okay, it's a par 5, and I'm going to lay up here with a 4-iron. Hit it great. And I'm trying to make par the hard way, but in my mind, I'm trying to make a birdie. And so I've got this pitching wedge from 115 right at the flag, but again, into the wind, came up a bit short. So about a 25-footer for par, which I just missed. A tough hole. Tough way to finish, bogey, bogey. But all in all, a 79 on a day like this, I'm not too devastated with that. And that's the river course here at Blackwolf Run. Love you guys. See you in the next video.